Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to today's Raw review and opinions video. This is where we're going to talk about Raw, we're going to break it down and we're going to get to your thoughts, what you thought about the show. So we're going to start where we always start, and that's by talking about the matches and the scores that you lot gave the matches during our live stream watch along. So Sami Zayn against Ludwig got good 97%. Dragon Lee against Carlito was good 88%. Damage Control against Unholy Union was good 99%. New Day against American Maids, this was good 95%. So really, we weren't getting much on the show in regards to in-ring action. And then we get to that main event, Jey Uso versus Bron Breakker, all time. So it didn't get a great rating. It went above that. It went to the highest level that we can go. All-time rating, 48%. That guarantees it as one of the matches of the year, right? I thought it was an excellent match. Really enjoyed it. And that finish was such a shock. It was such a shock. I was really stunned. A lot of people at the halfway point had this show around about like 5, 6 out of 10. A few 7s in there as well, but I was reading a lot of 5.5, 6, 6.25, that kind of score. I think that finish, that match, that main event, and that result will have drastically changed a few scores. And I think for a lot of people, they'll be probably around the 7s now. Some people will be like 10 out of 10 because just the finish. Jey winning that title that's all they needed from this show. So I'm looking forward to getting stuck in. I thought the main event was great. I thought the result was great. I'm not worried about Braun. You know, Braun to me is not in a delicate place. He is someone that's not been on the main roster that long. He's already won the Intercontinental Championship. There's big rumors that he has got a big future when we get to Netflix and that he is going to be in the mix. Like, beating Bron Breakker was an achievement for Jey Uso. That was seen as something which a lot of people didn't think he was going to do. So it's hard to say that Bron has been booked badly. I don't think that's true. I think he's been booked really well. I just think today was Jey Uso's day, and sometimes it just comes down to that. So I'm not worried about Bron. I think Bron will be fine in the long term, and word on the street is he's going to have a big 2025. So today was Jey's day. But lots of other things. I mean, obviously we had the Wyatt 6 QR codes. We also had interesting developments with Braun and Bronson, and that segment was pretty fun with people getting chucked around. Of course, we had the Open, we had the Lowrider, we had some good interaction with Rhea and Dom and Liv. We had the Drew promo, which is quite easy to forget about, but it was pretty good. I enjoyed that. I thought that this Raw really flew by. I didn't find that I struggled with this Raw. The ending is fantastic, but I do think the match quality needs to improve. There are a lot of matches which just don't get out of that good, okay sort of range, and we do need that to improve. So let's see what you lot thought. We're going to start with Kelly, the wise lady. Kelly said, "Can I just say, what a fantastic way to end Raw. Finally, no ambush of Rhea and Damian. Since we didn't get a post from the Wyatt 6 today, I figured that we were going to get a video and a QR code like last week. And boy, what a packed one it was. We have a lot of information given to us to examine and try to figure out what will happen next. Braun and Bronson are going to tear the place up next week. Best match of the night was the main event. And finally, the main event, Jey Uso has singles golds. Just for that alone, I'm giving it a 9. It is true. Next week, we've got Last Monster Standing. Brady said, I'm giving it an 8. It was very exciting to possibly have a Lily sighting, which is a possible tease for the return of Alexa Bliss. The Wyatt 6 QR code was fantastic as always and really hit nail on the head. that they are doing something related to Braun. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think there's a lot that's happening here. We could be teasing Alexa. We know about those Pluto symbols as well. But if that's a lily in the background, and I think as I'm sat here right now, I'm leaning more towards it was than it wasn't. I still don't know, right? I'm still not going to be saying categorically what, like if it is or if it isn't. But again, which way am I leaning? First picture I saw, I was leaning towards no, I don't think it is. Second picture I saw looked better. I'm leaning now towards, yeah, I think it is. But honestly, I'm still in the dark on it. But if it is, that's huge, isn't it, for Alexa? And we know that she can't be that far away. So, yeah, really good. I feel like as I'm sat here right now, I've just done a big 35-minute Wyatt 6 video, which I really loved. I genuinely loved it. I mean, it was really hard to get those folders sorted and to make sure that I didn't like really miss anything in my notifications, which maybe I have. I mean, I don't know, but I feel satisfied with the end result. So yeah, it was stacked. It was so stacked. That was one of the most challenging Wyatt 6 videos I've ever had to do, just because, you know, you've got all the images, you've got the word puzzle, you've got the backwards audio, you've got the URLs, you've got the source code, you've got Lily that's been spotted, you've got a Mercy picture that's been spotted, you've got the Viking Raiders thing. I mean, it was just, well, we think Viking Raiders thing. Some people are still adamant that it is Lucha Bros, but yeah, brilliant. Anthony said Kyrie getting a win on her birthday is awesome. I didn't know it was a birthday. I hope her and Io win the tag titles. They're incredible. Good noodles. Yes. Love the good noodles. So, Anthony, shout out to you. I do love some good noodles. Howdy said it was great. Braun and Bronson brawling as soon as the show started. Dom getting traumatized thinking of the shark cage was hilarious. Gunther with top heel work, getting the crowd to think he was about to say yes. Braun and Bronson continued their wildly entertaining feud. Miz heel turn. Great promo by McIntyre, similar to Punk. AA New Day. Now I think Kofi might turn heel. Woods got control and gave into his frustrations, costing them the win. And oh my God, one of the most unpredictable and entertaining matches I've seen in a long time. So happy for Jey. Let's see where this goes. 8 out of 10. Wrestling fan since day one said, Daze, you good at beatboxing. Thank you. Drew promo could have been left out of the show. Putting the Wyatt 6 aside, do we think that Alexa should be a heel or a face when she returns and Jey Uso becomes Intercontinental Champ? Well, if she's going to work with the Wyatt 6, she is going to have to be face. If she's not, then she can be either. But I think if she is going to come in and be a part of the group or connected to the group, she is going to be face. It could be really interesting, but honestly, I think this would be storytelling maybe beyond WWE. But it would be really interesting if Bo feels like he owes it to Bray to look after Alexa, because he knows he saw a lot in Alexa and he had a soft spot for Alexa. And if you remember when she betrayed him after WrestleMania 37, Bray was not looking to rip her head off. Like, he was, you know, okay, you know, it happens, on we go, kind of. If you remember that Firefly Funhouse after WrestleMania 37, he wasn't looking to, like, destroy Alexa. He wasn't looking for Alexa, even though she had betrayed him and cost him that match. So I sort of feel like you could easily tell a story that Bray had a soft spot for her. He saw something special in her. And I love the idea of Uncle Howdy looking after her, but she's not interested. And she is doing stuff that's heelish. But Uncle Howdy is a face and Bo is a face. And the Wyatt 6 are faces. And it's like she could cause them trouble because she could start some fights and then the Wyatt Six get dragged into things they don't really want to be getting dragged into. And I think you could do some really good stuff with that. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen that before. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen a face group with a heel member that goes and causes trouble. Can't really think of anything off the top of my head, so yeah, I think if she's with them, she'll be a face, but we've just explored quite a fun little story that could be told if she was heel. Angie said, it was so good. I'm so happy for Jey. Such a barn burner of a match. Can't wait for Bad Blood next weekend. Same here. Oh, that means I need to do my predictions, innit, on Sunday. Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Rico said Jey Uso winning the Intercontinental Championship was fire. Mr. Kennedy said Carnage Incarnate. Loved it. The monsters fighting and banger after banger. And people can cry about it. But Jey deserves the win. They're just salty because their favourite lost. Yeets. Chris said, Daze, I'll have to give this episode a 9. From Drew's great promo all the way to it finally happening. The main event, Jey Uso winning his first singles championship. Yeets. And we got the QR codes. Maybe another massacre coming soon. One can hope. Sumabrata says, Daze, good luck for the 3rd ODI. Thank you, my friend, and you. That's cricket, for those that don't know. Fantastic. The ending bumped my rating to a 9. Otherwise, it would have been an 8. 3 great matches with the opener and the final 2. Love Braun Bronson brawl. Last monster standing is about to be the biggest spectacle outside of WrestleMania 40. Heavily intrigued by the New Day storyline, especially Xavier's obsession of being a world champion. And finally, what a shocker in the main event. Me and my dad were jumping out of joy in that moment. Jey thoroughly deserved it. Yeet. Very good. Very good. Tony said there were parts where it was slow, but with the Wyatt 6 QR code and Jey freaking Uso winning the title, it was great. Mother fluffing yeet. Solar said, I'm not a fan of the Intercontinental title change. From my perspective, it's a feel-good moment for the sake of a cheap pop. And just to turn around in a month and give it right back to Braun. I get the feel-good moment, but logically, it doesn't make sense. Well, I suppose it makes sense that Jey has just beaten Braun clean. So if that belt is going to go back to Braun, I've got to think it's likely as a result of shenanigans, which is then going to move Jey into his next feud, which I'm still adamant is going to be Bloodline. Maybe not his next one, because maybe he'll defend the title at Crown Jewel. But I think, you know, Jey ticks off the singles championship. I don't know that he's going to be going for a world title anytime soon, because I think he's going to get caught up in Bloodline. And actually, as a result, might end up spending a bit of time over on SmackDown. And I wonder if they've given him this so that we can say, right, we did it. You know, he stepped away from the Bloodline and he found success. He became a champion on his own. And now he's going to have to go back to the Bloodline, back to his past, really. Back to some... I don't think he's going to be that eager to go back to. And it's probably going to cost him what he treasures most in the world right now outside of his family, and that is this singles championship. So I do think you can use it as a way of telling, like, story. I agree with you. I'm not keen on title changes that, you know, just result in a champion having a belt for a month or two. I mean, I don't know that that's what's going to happen here, but it definitely feels like Jey is going to lose this title thanks to Bloodline. So I get where you're coming from, but I think because it might help with the next story, and it is kind of a mountaintop reached for Jey before we go into this next story, and it's all feel good as well. And I really don't think it hurts Braun. I know there'll be people that say it does. I don't think it does. Braun is so young in his career. You know, he's not even been on the main roster for 12 months. I kind of feel like You know, did anything that Randy Orton did in his first 12 months, did that hurt his career? Because Randy Orton went on to have like a 20-odd year main roster career. So it's kind of crazy to say that like a loss in your first 12 months is going to derail you. I mean, let's not forget Hunter Hearst Helmsley came in as, well, Hunter Hearst Helmsley before he became Triple H. You know, that didn't hurt him. He was able to move past that. So this is a loss that Bron will easily be able to deal with. I'm going to look at it as the positive way. I'm just pleased for Jey personally. So Solar, yeah, I get what you're saying. I thought you worded that well. Brandon said it was amazing. I enjoyed every segment and every match had its story told or progressed. Finally, my man Jey Uso got gold, baby. Yeet. Now if Roman wants old bloodline, he's gonna see Jey has moved on and has his own thing, and it'll take more than expected to get him on board. 8.35. Sean said, do we think Jimmy will get gold one day? I don't know. Jimmy's tricky because Jey said, you know, my brother is next up, as if to say, we ain't done nothing with Jimmy yet. And he's like, he's the funny one of the two of us. Like, you got to see a glimpse of it at times, but he's funny. And like you'll see it. Like Jay's always going to big up his brother. Of course he is. And he's going to want success for his brother. But I was kind of really intrigued by what Jey said. He really made out like, it's my turn now, but my brother's up next. So as I'm sat here right now, I'd say no. Because it does feel like Jey is the more charismatic of the two. But Jey has said that that might not be the case. And they're going to focus on his brother next. So, I don't know, 2025 could be really big for Jimmy. Carl said, I'm going to say it was average. It felt like they didn't know what to do or have any new ideas. So, for the most part, it felt flat and just filler. What we got, though, was still decent. So, it's not the worst show, but yeah. Losing interest in Wyatt 6. They've not been on since the street fight. We've gone back to QR codes. And Chad and American Made haven't changed at all since the Wyatt 6 was supposed to have taught them a lesson. Well, let's just take that little bit, right? So what I would say is I understand some of those frustrations because I think Wyatt 6 should strike fear into groups and people that they have feuds with, right? I mean, really, Chad should have been a nervous wreck all throughout that feud. So mistakes have definitely been made in my mind. There was one bit today that I thought was really interesting. And that's when New Day said, like, oh, they're behind you type thing. And Chad, like, jumped out of his skin. Like, he was not cool as a cucumber. Like, he seemed really nervous in that moment. And I wonder if that was their way of just showing that that feud, it did have an effect. He might be playing the big I am, and he might be like walking around, swanning around, acting like the big guy, but in that moment there, he showed fear. And I just thought, oh, is that them trying to show that it did have an effect? I think they're in a difficult position because I think American Maids are a group they really want to get behind as well. I think American Made are a group that they really want to see succeed as well also. So they can't really bury American Maids. They can't afford to do that. So this is maybe the way they're trying to get out of it. So have American Made go around acting like the big I am. But it would be good if just, you know, every now and again they tease Wyatt 6 around and we see them like all nervous and jittery. So I agree. I think we could have communicated that better. But we move on. We move. And QR codes, I mean, I'm not down on QR codes because I think it communicates a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. And stuff that's not direct. So, you know, with a promo, you can be a bit cryptic, whatever, but you can't really go back over a promo the same way you can go back over, you know, a QR code with images and word puzzles. I mean, it's so much more interactive, like filling out word puzzles, you know, or searching for coordinates to find messages. Like, it's so unique that, like, QR codes, I think, is something really special. I think it's such a interesting way. I mean, there's people out there that aren't bothered with engaging with it, and they'll just wait to see what it says, basically. I think you're really missing out if that's what you do. I think the joy is in really digging into the codes. But I can understand people not wanting to do that, but I don't know. I can't just say, like, I can't agree with, oh, we've just gone back to QR codes, because the work that's in those things and the engagement, certainly from our community, you can tell they're very much appreciated, you know, but clearly not by everyone. Carl continues, the main event was great. It's good to see Jey get the well-deserved win, but I was not expecting Braun to lose. Same. Love seeing the Sky Pirates as always, especially seeing them win. Happy birthday, Kyrie. Carl, shout out to you. So, Electro Head Dante said, F that yeet shiz. So, not happy. Ryan says, really solid. I wish that Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman would be at Bad Bloods, because I know they're going to destroy the whole arena, and the feuds has been great. Wrestling Burner said, fantastic ending that no one was expecting. This won't harm Braun, only elevates Jey further. Also, his huge repercussions for the Bloodline story. Roman will need Jey, and Jey has never needed Roman less. Will the new Bloodline cost him his title before Survivor Series? I think we're on the same page, you and me, but that's kind of along the lines that I'm thinking as well, yeah. Logan James said, Daze, hello, great Raw. My rating is 8.5. I'm surprised that Jey won the IC. Jey can win IC. Damage Control could win the Tag Team Women's Championships. I think Lucha Bros on Raw. Raquel Rodriguez returned to help Liv. And I watch EO and Penta in Lucha Underground. EO won, says Logan. Melanie said 10 out of 10. Yeets. I'm so happy that Jey won. Yeet. Male Tail Thong said, I thought it was a solid 7, but I disliked how they started the show. Trying to make it look like Liv and Dom have just arrived. They walk through Gorilla and straight to the ring, but we all know that everyone arrives hours before the show starts. Same thing happened last week with Punk. Well, that is true, but I suppose you're not really meant to know. Like, when people arrive, you're not meant to know that they do rehearsals and all of that. I mean, I suppose the way to think about it is that the characters arrive just before the show. I mean, clearly the characters are not going to do rehearsals. So the characters arrive just before the shows. But the actual people, the actual personnel that actually play the roles, they arrive hours before, yes. So you're seeing the arrival of the character. Does that help? Probably not. Luna said, keeping Dom away is the best for the women's division. Just Liv and Rhea match showcasing their in-ring skills. Too much interference is already overdone at this point in the feud, said Luna. Too much interference. Andrew said, I turn on the show and the first thing they announce is what I wanted them to announce. Enjoy the view, Dom. 8.5. It's going to be good, man. It's going to be good. John, oh, hello. Let's have a look. Oh, just a couple. John Elite said, congratulations to Jey on winning the IC title. Loved Dragon Lee's entrance with the vest and mask. Viking Raiders return with the video package? I think so. I think the rest of Judgment Day or even Raquel return during Liv's match at Bad Bloods. Uncle Meowdy said, fluffing best Raw all year. Yeet. Dominik's backstage was awesome. That wasn't me. It was Tom. Oh, yeah, he did say that. And why did you let Mr. Potato Head say that? He did say that, yeah. Yeah, it was a good little segment, that, wasn't it? With Adam Pearce and Liv and Dominik. So I agree. Very good. And there we go. That was today's Raw review and opinions. I'm probably going to settle on like a 7.5. Maybe 7.75. I love the ending. But there was a chunk of this show where the matches just didn't quite deliver for me. Like Dragon Lee and Carlito. Damage Control Unholy Union was okay. But I can't really make out that it was anything special. Sami and Ludwig, I like Sami a lot, and that match was quite competitive, but I can't really make out that it was anything that special. None of it was bad, but I don't really think it's anything that like massively pushes up my scores, you know. So I'm probably like 7.5, 7.75 with a lot of that main event doing the heavy lifting. Lovely to get a QR code. That also massively helps. Nothing here stunk the place out, in my opinion. But yeah, I think if the rest of the show had been really good, like we'd had some like really enjoyable matches, maybe then it could have pushed me into the 8s, but I don't know. My gut feeling is telling me 7.5, 7.75, something around that kind of ballpark. So yeah, still an excellent score though. Quite a few weeks where we'll sit here and say, oh, 6.75, 6.5. So a 7.5, 7.75. Take that every week. Every week. So awesome. Thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate the support. Don't forget there is a Wyatt 6 video that is up on the other channel. Took flipping ages. But I hope you enjoy it. And I am actually going to see, I don't know if it's possible, I might see if I can get an unseen recorded and scheduled so that it'll go out about lunchtime. I might give that a go just because there's so much reaction to Jey and just so many little bits that we can talk about as well. I sort of feel like I don't want to leave unseen until after NXT. So keep your eyes peeled for that as well. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.